Welcome to Shifting Impressions, Conversations with the Realm of Beings, with me, Gretta Chamberlain, and the Realm of Beings. Shifting Impressions, which is one of the vehicles that supports the transmission of the Realm of Beings, is here to assist you in delving into your being by providing numerous topics and discussions for you to intake as you deepen your connection with your inner world. Shifting Impressions is here to assist you in strengthening yourself as you excavate to understand your true nature. Join us today and learn to shift your mindset, shift your thoughts, and shift your focus to recreate your life and produce a new you. Shifting Impressions starts now.
Good morning and welcome to Shifting Impressions, Conversations with the Realm of Beings. I'm Carol and I'm here with my lovely co-hosts, Gretta, Kathleen, and of course, the Realm of Beings. We would all like to invite you to the 35th anniversary of the New Life Expo in New York City from October 19th to the 20th at the New York Bar Historical Building, which is on 44th Street between 5th and 6th Avenue. Gretta will be performing complimentary psychic readings. She will be giving a lecture and a workshop. Kathy will also be delivering a lecture. And I will just be there to say hi to you. So get your tickets online. It's newlifeexpo.com. And of course, you can always experience Shifting Impressions and the latest news on www.therealmofbeings.com. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, and any of your other favorite streaming platforms. We at Shifting Impressions are very happy to be here on Transformation Network every Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time and 8 a.m. Pacific Time. Listeners, if you are new to the podcast, thank you for joining us and being part of this experience. These conversations will help you to look at your life and your creation of reality to see what you're creating, how it shows up, and how you can gain perspective so you can learn how to shift what you are creating in order to create what you want. So welcome everyone. To new listeners and viewers to the podcast, each week Gretta shares with us a quote given to her from the Realm of Beings, which we first will discuss with each other, and later on in the show, the Realm will join us to expand and expound on the quote. The quote they have shared with us this week is in continuance of the subject of health. Love yourself. Enjoy the bounties of excellent health. Support yourself in showing appreciation for your body and how it works for your healthy benefit. Show gratitude for each cell, organ, and system. Be grateful for the support that each part gives you in the realities that you create. Stay grateful and never waver from that. That's a wonderful quote. And I like to just point out, I think Gretta in the Realm has told us the cells, the organs, the systems, those are all their own species too. Am I right, Gretta?
Absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, every cell is each cell is a living entity, and it has consciousness, it has unconsciousness. They communicate with each other. We can communicate with them. They communicate with us if we're listening. And what I mean by listening, I'm not talking about that you're going to hear the cells say, "Hi, Carol, how are you doing?" You're not going to hear them do that. You know, look at Kathy. She's looking at me like I'm crazy.
I know someone that does. She's just not on this Zoom.
So, but, learning, that's what we're going to be discussing about on the podcast today is we're stressing love of self, and then how you're going to be really healthy and how you can help yourself maintain that health. So
And,
go
and
ahead,
know that,
Kathy or Carol, whichever.
oh, I was just going to say, know that all those cells and systems and organs, they're going to support the reality you're creating. So you want to create the reality you want them to support, and everyone and everything be healthy. Right, Kathy?
And you know what? I'm so glad that you phrase it that way. I love your phrasings, your phraseology. Sometimes it just amazes me, Carol. It just does, because it just leads me right into piggybacking off of you, that's saying that all of this month, that is what we have been focusing on doing. Getting ourselves moving again from the pandemic and everything else, and just taking care of our health, and just loving ourselves, and just really focusing on that. And it's really making a big, big difference in how you go to sleep and how you wake up in the morning and how you feel about yourself. So now I found that I really like getting emojis. So I send myself an emoji in the morning. It says, "Good morning, sunshine." I go, "Good morning to you too." So
Oh, that's great.
it's just another way of saying that, that you love yourself. And when you love yourself, you feel better about yourself, and everything about you kind of just changes. So that's where I am. That's my opening for the day.
Yeah, I think that one of the things that we can um, it's called body talk. It's not something that I want the audience to know. That's not something that we created. Right now, I can't remember the person who created that, but we use it. We highly suggest that our audience, if you have any type of ailment, or as people say, dis-ease, we encourage you to start talking to your body, because it can hear you. Every cell in your body can hear you. So if you want to say, if you have a headache, you can talk to the cells of your brain and say, let's relax. Because what is a headache? About 2 weeks ago, we talked about health in terms of mental equivalencies. We really encourage I want to take the time to encourage members of our audience who are listening to this, to take a look at that. Take a look at that podcast that we did, because that is very important for you to understand that. It was dealing with health and mental equivalencies, because your body lets you know exactly where you are thinking in your unconscious. Everything that physically happens to you starts with your thoughts, and then you put emotions to it. I don't care what kind of dis-ease you are experiencing it, you have created it. And so this podcast this morning is about how to get rid of it, how one of the ways of changing that reality that you've created. Some people, have cancer. Some people have Parkinson's disease. Some people have anxiety challenges, all kinds of challenges that we give to ourselves. And it's not a bad thing. It's lessons. But part of learning that lesson is to conquer it and not to be afraid to conquer it. Because sometimes you'll go to the doctor, allopathic doctor, and they'll tell you, well, you only have 3 months to live, or something like that. I've worked with people that they've told them that. And I say, okay, come on now. And of course they live longer than 3 months. Some people continue to live, and are still living now. Some people decided to terminate themselves, and that's okay as well. But the thing is that you have got to support yourself. You don't sit around and waiting for other people to support you. It's important for you to support yourself, because you are the only one that's in charge of you, nobody else, only you. So if you've created some health challenges, I've got health challenges while I sit here in front of you. I created it. So I'm, focusing on ameliorating, getting rid of it, because I don't have to keep it unless I want to. So Carol, I know you're getting ready to say something.
Oh, well, when you mentioned the part about listen to your body, or your body's cells are listening to you, it came to me that we should also be listening to our body. And you brought up the mental equivalencies, which is a perfect way to listen to your body. Sometimes there are thoughts I'm having and emotions I'm feeling that I don't consciously even recognize, but my body will react to something. And I go and get my Martell book or my Louise Hay book, and I look up the mental equivalency and I go, aha, that's what I'm really thinking. And that allows me to start fixing it. And how do we fix it? We fix it by letting go of fear, learning to accept and love oneself. And little by little, I'm getting there. I don't think I'm as far along as our beautiful Kathleen, but I'm still working on
Yes,
it.
you are. Yes, you are. But you know what, Carol? Everyone's lessons are different, and how you learn them is different. That's one of the things that I've learned. And it's really, really, really interesting. But one of the things that came into my mind is I was thinking more or less like, I know I'm focusing on me, but when you look at like the people that make up this country, I mean, this whole country, you can see, if you want to use a mental equivalency on a broader spectrum, this is not a very healthy country. The people. So I guess that might be a question for the realm. It's like, how many people have to have high blood pressure, cancer, all of these really, they create some of the same diseases because it's almost like they're learning the same lessons, but they might be learning how they're going to learn them. You know what I'm trying to say, Greta? It's like, it's just amazing to me when you can look at what the whole country is thinking by the diseases or the diseases they create to experience, whether it's individually or collectively. And I'm trying to process, Carol, because you're better at phrasing things sometimes when I just babble on, you're able to put it together for me in a cogent, cohesive one zinger, which I like. So I'm going to let you do that right now.
Well, when you said about so many people suffering from the same diseases and how they're learning lessons, the thought that entered my mind at that moment was the universal lesson we all have, learning how to love ourselves unconditionally. And the second universal lesson, learning that there's no separation. And I think perhaps that is why there's so much of a specific illness or dis-ease with so many people, is because we're still trying. The separation thing, I think, is big. It's so prevalent in our country. I mean, more so than ever. And, I'm a big ancient history buff, and thousands of years we've been experiencing this. And to me, it appears to be getting worse instead of better. And that scares me a little bit because, we're here, we're trying to teach people about oneness, about love, unconditional love. And then there's just so much stuff going on that is so confusing.
See, one thing I want to say, Carol, is that all three of us need to focus, and the whole audience, and some of the members of our audience are outside of the United States as well. So we're all going through something similar. But the thing is, for us not to see things being in trouble, for us not to see things being challenging or being in a low vibrational state. Because as we say it and as we focus on it, so are we creating it more and more. So I encourage our audience, wherever you live, to see things positive, because that's where we've got to hold. You see, there are forces some forces that are inside this world and some forces that are outside of this world that are assisting us in maintaining low vibrational thoughts, low vibrational energy. They're encouraging us to stay there. So it's important for us. Don't look at catastrophe. If you see something, then do the opposite. Do the opposite. I know this is happening. I know this war is going over here, but I'm concentrating on peace. That's where I'm going to concentrate on. I'm not going to concentrate on the continuation of the war, or somebody's blowing up this building, or somebody has entered this other person's country. It's for us to maintain seeing peace. Seeing peace. It's like Seth says, imagination. And now I can understand why he put that in that book, imagination, because it's and we know imagination is thought, but sometimes people, what is thought? Okay, so just imagine that you're in peace. Imagine that, because then you're creating it. We don't want to create the opposite. I don't care what we see. We don't want to create that we're sick. We talked about that, I think, last week, about claiming our illnesses. We don't want to claim it. It's not ours, really.
I just borrowed it for a second.
Absolutely.
I borrowed that cold for a second because I have to remember something that I had to do for myself. So that's another way I'm going to look at it, just since you said that, Greta. We're just borrowing it. We don't really need to keep it.
No. Letting it go. Don't go down there. Go down the rabbit hole.
Rabbit hole.
Right. And sit down there with Alice. Yeah, sitting down there with Alice, sipping tea, and then you decide that you want to get down even deeper, so you invite the rabbit, and then you want to get even deeper, so you invite the Mad Hatter, and then you really want to get deeper, and here comes the Queen of Hearts. So you don't want to stay there. We do not want to stay there. And what gets us up out of that is that doggone it, I love myself. I'm loving myself every day. I'm loving it. Check it. Somebody comes at you and calls you a nasty name. Somebody comes at you and says some low vibrational verbiage, or that show that they're judging you, or any of that stuff. Let it go. Don't keep it. Well, see yourself loving yourself. Go ahead, Ken.
I have been doing that because I have a very special visitor staying with me for a minute. He's one of my favorite siblings, but he's very intense. And but he is really supporting me in learning how to not get caught up in his outbursts about what's happening in the country. I mean, I thought he was going to break my television, but he is just, well, you've met him, Greta. His energy is like, and I said, yeah, I hear what you're saying, but you know what? I prefer to stay peaceful. This up here. I'm not going down here. I said, because every time you say that, you go here and you go here and you give the energy to that. It's really good practice for me to stay here. And he goes like, Jesus, because he doesn't understand that I'm not going to roll with that down here. And I'm rolling up here. I'm practicing peace, and I'm not letting anybody pull me down into the rabbit hole with them. Is what I wanted you to say for me, Carol, but I didn't give you a chance, because people can pull you down into the rabbit hole. Next thing you know, you're in a rat hole, and I don't know which is worse, a rat hole or the one with Alice. It's like, I don't know. I might want to be in the rabbit rather than the rat hole, because a rat hole is just, woo, that's a different hole. That's all I can tell you.
Greta, you used the word imagination, and I got a strong flash of John Lennon's song, Imagine. And if you listen to those lyrics, and I encourage people, listen to that song. That man knew what he was talking about. He was teaching us, and unfortunately, too many people were not listening. but he really did understand creation of reality and how thoughts create the reality. So just a good word and a good
You find it
song.
fascinating? Don't you find it fascinating though that he created to make his transition the way that he did? It seems like people that preach peace and stuff, they seem to, I don't know, kind of make their transition in a way that is the opposite.
Dramatic.
Well, yeah, like well, you know,
Perhaps it was
I'm
to
I'm
really,
gonna fall asleep in my bed when I'm 100, and then that'll be it for me. I'm not
that
looking to
works
get hit by a
too.
train or anything like that, you know. Oh wait, I said hit by a train. I release all emotions and thought that support me in creating, maintaining, thinking I'm gonna be hit by a train. I love myself unconditionally. I just QDR'd that.
Well, maybe that was his way of really putting in place the strength he wanted to give people to listen to the words he was teaching. You know, because look at this, how many years is it? We're still talking about it. So he
Absolutely.
definitely gave an impact there. Maybe that's the reason some people choose to go out in what we consider, you know, a violent manner
Or
or
choose to incarnate to go that way, because Seth also says that
exactly.
in there too.
Yes,
There's a
exactly.
reason why you choose to incarnate and you choose your parents and you choose the lessons and how and you know boom 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 boom. So
All
yeah,
related. It's all related.
it's very interesting. It's wow, we're on quite a stream of consciousness here, and I'm trying not to become unconscious in my stream of consciousness. My unconscious is working overtime. Hello up there. Oh no, hello in there. My bad, Greta.
There you go. Good catch, Kathy.
I like the title. I like the title. I was looking at the title. It says,
Yeah.
"Whew."
Whew.
Yeah, I did it. That's what it says. Whew, I did it. I'm healthy, healthy, healthy. Yeah, we want to applaud everybody in our audience who had some type of disease, malady, whatever you want to call it, and now you don't have it. Congratulations. You did a good job. For those of you who are making your things less and less and less important in your life, that you're getting slowly moving them out, we congratulate you also. And those people who are thinking about beginning to get rid of something that is a malady or a disease, we congratulate you too.
What about
Because
those that
all
I'm
three of
sorry,
those things are due congratulations.
what about those that like I know people that are on their 12th vaccine shot. I mean, you know, so that's their belief system and I honor it, you know, and I just find it very interesting. Well, I don't how does that play into all of this, Greta? Like is that
That's
walking
choice.
is choice, okay.
It's choice. You know, there's so many vaccines out there, so many different kinds. So, but the thing is that if you choose to go that route, then what you want to do is see it working for you.
That's what I wanted to ask you. Okay.
Right. If you see it working for you, then it's going to work for you. But if you believe that something is not going to work for you, if you have the slightest doubt that it's not going to work for you, then it's not going to work for you. And
Right, because
see,
if
and that's about anything. That's
True.
about anything. If you don't believe, it's like my friend Marcia, you know, who's already made her transition, and I might have given this example some years ago on this podcast. But she came to our metaphysical class and she said, "Guys, I had a headache. I had a really bad headache, and it was late at night, and I was not going out to the store. To all stores were closed, basically." To get some medication to help me with my headache. I had no aspirins. I had no other things that could, still that pain in my head. So she said, I went and got a vitamin. She put the vitamin up she stood in her bathroom and looking at the bathroom window, mirror, I mean, and she held this vitamin up and she said, this is an aspirin, or she said, this is going to get rid of my headache. when I take this, my headache is going to be gone. So she ate it. She said after a few minutes, her headache was gone. So it's by what do you believe?
Mhm.
If you're experiencing cancer and you believe that chemotherapy is going to help you, then that's what it's going to do. You just got to get through the challenges that it poses with it. But if you believe it, truly believe it, it's going to work for you. You see, I don't care what it is. If you're on levodopa and you believe that it's going to work for you, then it's going to work for you. If you have the slightest doubt that it's not going to work for you, then you're going to be supporting that too. So which side of the energy? Is the energy more that it's going to work? Then it's not going to work? Then guess what? The more it's going to win off. If it's the reverse, I don't know if this is going to work for me and is stronger, then it's going to win out. So the bottom line is, what do you believe in?
And you know what else just came to me, Carol and Greta? It's funny because if I have to take a medicine, I never read the side effects.
I don't either.
So if I don't read side effects, I don't know I'm not calling that to myself. Isn't that the strangest thing?
No, I do the same thing. I do the same exact thing. And I usually, if I have to take a prescription type medicine, I've never experienced any of the so-called side effects. Because I don't even look at them. I just
don't cue into it.
I'm not interested. I'm saying if I need to take a prescription medication for anything, my focus and concern is just on addressing whatever challenge that's supposed to fix. So I don't care about the side effects because I'm not going to bring them on. And the funny thing is sometimes afterwards I look at the side effects and I go, ooh, it's a good thing I didn't read these first.
I know that's right.
Right?
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said, because if it works, if you're supposed to take the chemo, that if you read all the side effects, and I mean, they print them all out on the envelope too. I throw that whole thing in the daggone trash, and heart palpitations. Oh, really? I'm supposed to have? No, it's just a probability, and I don't create any of those probabilities. So I just wanted to ask that question, so the audience can maybe think about it,
I believed in a side effect, and I experienced it right there in the doctor's office when I first went about my thyroid to the endocrinologist, and he was telling, well, you have a thyroid condition, and I said, well, what is that? What are the effects of that, of having that challenge? And he gave me all the effects, and he said one of the effects is that your voice becomes lower. Your voice is going to be lower. Right. That's right. That's exactly what I did. Soon as he told me, I swear to God, as soon as he told me, I went down into, oh, is that what it is, doctor? I just went from one thing. I said, oh my God, I'm practicing it. Soon as he said to me, wow. I said, oh, let me get out of that. Yeah, but I did right away. I don't even think I thought about it. I just dropped my voice and lower while I was talking to him. But
are you sure it wasn't? Maybe it was someone from the realm speaking through you, and it wasn't really your voice at all.
I don't even think I was even dealing with the realm at that point. Greta didn't know a doggone thing about the realm. Okay, even though they were with me, but I I wasn't aware of them. So Greta was out there by herself. Okay, even though they've always been with me. But yeah.
All right, ladies, we're about at that point in the show where we're going to take a quick break. Audience, when we come back, we're going to speak with the realm directly about the quote they've shared. So please stick with us. Welcome back to Shifting Impressions, Conversations with the Realm of Beings. We've reached that part of our podcast where the realm will come through Greta to tell us their better explanation about the quote they gave her. So, Realm, I almost called her Greta. Realm, are you with us? Realm, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Okay, just wanted to make sure you're with us.
All right.
We're talking still about health, and the quote this week is, love yourself. Enjoy the bounties of excellent health. Support yourself in showing appreciation for your body and how it works for your healthy benefit. Show gratitude for each cell, organ, and system. Be grateful for the support that each part gives you in the realities that you create. Stay grateful and never waver from that.
I think that there are important words there. One is, of course, as we've said at every podcast, it's important to love yourself. But that the other thing is, another word is grateful. It's hard to, when you have a disease, to say you're grateful for it. But the thing is, turn your mind. Turn your mind and note that you created it for yourself. So why did you give it to yourself? You gave it to yourself for a reason. It's identifying something at the unconscious level that you want to learn so you can eliminate that off of your plate. You see, we have many lessons on there, many. So, and we choose at the very moment what ones we want to tackle. If one of your lessons is to not hold on to quote unquote little hurts, if that's your lesson, then based on the mental equivalencies that you have being human, is a cancerous experience, because you don't want to let go of somebody hurting you because you thoroughly believe that they hurt you. You see, nobody can hurt you ever. It's impossible. Just like you cannot hurt anybody else. It's impossible. What happens is, and we've said it before, create, support, create. You have to create to be in that space so that the cancer can support you there. You see, I'm not forgiving my Aunt Mary because she slapped me across the face yesterday or when I was 5. I don't want to forget that. See, let it go. All of those things, let it go. The slap in the face is only showing you didn't love yourself. So it's giving you the opportunity to say, let me love myself more. Of course, when it happened, you weren't of this understanding. But what happens, unless you get rid of it, I don't care if it happened when you were 5 and now you're 102. If you have not gotten rid of it, you're carrying it from being 5 years old all the way up to 102. Can you imagine? But we do that. Yes. It's called release. Release any type of anger, hate, criticism, judgment of anybody or anything. Release that from you. Release hate. Release anger. What does anger do? Some people say anger is stored in your liver. Anger holds the liver. But see, as we look at it, anger is held by everything inside your body. Every cell holds it for you. They hold it for you. You've requested for them to hold it at the unconscious level because you won't let it go. So therefore, it's helping you. They are helping you to hold the anger, to hold the disappointment. Let it go. Displace, replace. Get rid of it. Replace it with something else that supports being healthy, healthy, healthy. And what? Joy can help you replace the sadness that created the dis-ease in the first place. Be happy. Find happiness. Find joy, even if it's a little tiny, tiny, tiny piece of it. But when you grab hold to that tiny, tiny, tiny piece of it, it can start to grow and grow and grow. It's like a plant. It will start to grow. But you got to nurture it. You know, if you don't water it and give the plant some food, it just decides, well, let me check out of here. I'm not getting what I need. I'm not getting the nurturance of what I need. So when you have something that you're holding on to the little hurts and you don't want to get rid of it, you want to blame somebody. That person is the reason why I'm sick. That person is the reason why I never accomplished something in my life. You want to blame other people for the creations of reality that you created, you see.
That is so true.
So you want to be angry. I'm angry with that person. That person kept me from being a doctor. My mother kept me from being a doctor. Or my father kept me from going to college. It's not about that, because they can't keep you from doing something. They can't keep you from going to college. You decided that it wasn't that important to you, so therefore you did not do it. That's the bottom line. Everything is your choice. It's your choice. Just because Aunt Susie had Alzheimer's, you don't have to create to have it. You don't have to activate the gene for it. You can keep saying, I release. I am experiencing, releasing all emotions and thoughts that support me in creating and maintaining fear of having dementia like my great aunt. I love myself unconditionally. Notice what comes after that QDR, quick displace, replace, that we've been talking about on this podcast. You see, that is the only thing, that is the tool you have to recognize what it is you don't want. You see, I release all emotions and thoughts that support me in creating and maintaining feeling angry over my husband messing with another woman. I love myself unconditionally. I release it. Don't hang on to that. There are too many wonderful things in this life that you can focus on without focusing on tragedy, mayhem, chaos. Why give it energy when you don't want it? So therefore, we say, see yourself healthy, regardless of what condition you have created. Because by seeing yourself healthy, it might not change right away, boom, but you better believe it's on the road.
Mm-hmm.
You're on the road. You got to get on the road for health. If you're staying in the ditches, then you're not giving what you need to yourself to get out of the ditch. You're still sitting in the ditch going, woe is me. This is not the time to say, woe is me. This is to climb up out of the ditch, get on that road, and start moving toward health. Health of mind, health of body, health of spirit.
When we say health, healthy, what exactly does that really truly mean on a deeper level?
At the deeper level, Kathleen, it's going to mean what you perceive it to mean. That's the first thing. Because it's not a generalization of it. It's not a collective of it when you start dealing with yourself. It's how do you see yourself healthy? It might be that you see yourself healthy when you're no longer feeling depressed over something. That's what's going to be healthy for you, not being depressed.
Not being a smoker anymore, not being an alcoholic anymore, not
Absolutely.
being a cripple or experiencing.
It depends on you, because somebody who's smoking can say, I enjoy smoking. I love smoking. It does something for me. It calms me down. So they're not going to see themselves in tragedy. They're going to see themselves doing well, smoking and puffing. Now, the only thing is that when they pick up those commercials, if there are commercials in the advertisements in the newspapers and different things like that, that are saying that, smoking is bad for your health. Now they've got two things inside their brain. They got one brain that's telling them, oh, I like this. I want to keep doing this. This makes me feel good. It relaxes me. Over here, now you got the thought in there, hey, you can keep on relaxing. Hey, you can keep on doing it, but maybe you don't want to because it may hurt your lungs. It may affect your breathing. So now you've got this duality going. When you have the duality going, then you must decide, where are you going to give the most strength? Which side do you want? And now, how are you going to decide that? You're going to decide that by way of what lesson you want to learn. If you want to learn the lesson of, I'm not going to be able to breathe well, then you're going to go over there. If when the lesson is, I'm going to continue breathing well throughout every moment of my life, I'm feeling good, I can release this smoking. Whatever smoking you're doing, cigars, recreational drug smoking, cigarette smoking, whatever smoking, you have to decide, because some people feel that they're quite healthy. And smoking is not going to bother their lungs whatsoever. So that's their concept of health, Kathleen.
Yeah, and I have a relative that's almost 89, smoked since he was a teenager. No challenges whatsoever with that, because he never intended to have any yet. My mother contracted lung cancer from hers.
There you go.
Transition.
There you go. That's a good example for our audience. Thank you for bringing that up, because you can see the two possibilities. So healthy, Kathleen, is what's in your mind. That's what healthy is.
Ooh. Ooh.
Yes.
Wow. Carol, what do you think about what the realm said?
Well, there was something earlier that I wanted to ask. Talk about changing of your thoughts, but we're usually dealing with thoughts that are coming from our unconscious. So even though we consciously want to release the anger or release the fears or release whatever low vibrational energy and emotion we're feeling, how do we convince our unconscious to release it?
Ah, that's a good one.
Well, see, that's what we gave just as an example. Today, we gave the QDR. The QDR can help you replace it. If you don't remember the QDR, you've never written it down, we highly suggest that you write it down, because that's something we're giving to you to be able to use to change your reality and to change your energies. However, let's say you can change something by a pure thought. By a pure thought, you can say, you can even mix it up if you want to. Like, I am not experiencing diabetes anymore because I am in perfect health. But notice that when you say that, you're recognizing the diabetes still. So you might want to just change it and say, my sugar levels are wonderful. My sugar levels are doing well as far as being in lowness to support my being and my whole entire body being in perfect health. See, there's so many ways that you can say.
Right.
One way, though, and let me say this, you can say all day, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself, and you can turn around and get a debilitating disease. Why? Because it's energy.
Why?
That energy is stronger than you loving.
And you have to practice it. You have to practice loving yourself.
Absolutely. It just
And
doesn't
I
show
know
up.
I've had Greta teach me this because I seem to find myself challenged in a loop situation on many occasions. And I get angry with myself because I feel I should know better because I've been her student for this long and your student realm. And I tell other people right here every week, you have to love yourself unconditionally to create the reality you want. And then when I don't do it, I just get so upset about it. And Greta taught me that you have to remember that you have been practicing not loving yourself for much longer than you've practiced loving yourself. So that helped me to give myself like a pass to not beat up on myself and to understand that I am practicing. I've been showing myself more and more that I love myself. Things are definitely improving. And I congratulate myself for it, like Kathy does. And that is just, I want to stress to the audience that nothing necessarily happens instantaneously. Just because you say I'm in perfect health doesn't mean you shouldn't seek treatments, either holistic or medical, whatever. It doesn't mean you just sit by yourself and say, oh, I'm in perfect health, so everything is fine. You still have to be proactive. You have to practice it. You have to practice loving yourself.
Well, I have a question, and this is for the realm or for Carol or for whoever. I'm going to bring it up because I know someone that has to have surgery. And we were talking about side effects. And this person has already created that they might be out of commission for a couple of months. So
that's a low blow, Kathy.
Well, my question is, they don't have to experience that, do they? If they start before they have the surgery. Well,
no, because you set it up. It was set up that it's going to take me 2 months. There are some people that you can say, well, I'm not going to let it take him. This is not going to take me 2 months. I think I want to do this in 4 weeks. See, everything moves according to where you think it's going to move. If you think it's going to take you 2 weeks, even if the doctor told you it's going to take you 2 weeks, The doctor is basing his or her conversation to you about that, basing on what he or she has seen other people do. So that's why they tell you that. But that doesn't mean that that has to be that way for you.
Even if you had experience it, if you had, let's say, one hip done or one ear done or one eyeball done, doesn't mean you might have the same challenge with the second one that you have to get done if you decide that I'm not doing that again.
Absolutely. Okay. You don't have to repeat. Remember, this is the big thing. Remember that you are in control of your life at all times. You are the director of it. You are the actor in it. You are the producer of it. You are it. You are.
We just have to remember that we are the creators of that. And sometimes, we slip. Well, when I say we slip, we it's like Carol says, sometimes it's just boom, it's unconscious, and it's like just magically appears like a little leprechaun. Oh boy, it just magically appeared. And I said, I didn't even know I thought that, and so then you start going, oh my God, did I just think that? Oh God, QDR. And sometimes you're just not aware that you're even thinking it because it's just so normal because you're human and we've been doing it all of our lives, as Carol would say, and Greta. So any thoughts on that realm?
That you are just doing it? Is that what you're saying, Kathleen?
How do we, like, I know when I say something or think something I don't want to think, I just automatically go, oopsie daisy, didn't mean to do that. Let me QDR that. And let me block it, do a block with another affirming statement, stating what I want. But we know that. Carol and I, we know that. And the people that watch the podcast, a lot of them know that. But for those that are new and those that really haven't quite absorbed or experienced it, because we don't really know, I could see where it would leave like scratching their head type of moments. You know what I mean?
I understand. But see, it's change of thought. It's change of thought.
It's the thought period. Just change your thoughts.
Change your thought. Believe it.
Believe
now, you can't just say, okay, I'm changing my thought.
Well, that explains why it doesn't work all the time.
Because the more intense your belief, the more you're going to create it. And that's with low vibration, high vibration, it doesn't matter. With you think it, but you give it intensity by way of the emotions.
Mm-hmm.
The intensity is what makes the thing move faster. The intensity of it. And some people have fear of things. Fear is a strong energy. And it's so strong that it gives you what you fear. That's why you don't want to fear anything, to tell you the honest God truth. You don't want to fear anything, y'all. Don't fear it. Because when you fear it, you create it.
It's like you're calling it to you.
Absolutely, you're calling it to yourself. Notice I use the word God in my statement.
We know we are.
Yes.
Well, it looks like we're about to wrap up, Carol. And I had a little thing already said I was going to say, because we don't know what the quote for October is going to be from the realm, but I'm pretty sure it will be spooktacular, or maybe not spooktacular. We're just gonna fall into some more quotes in October, and so we shall see you next week. But I'm going to turn it back over to Carol to close. Greta, come back! Wake up, Greta! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up!
Thank you, Kathleen. Thank you, Greta. Thank you, Realm, and thank you, Transformation Network, for letting us share this podcast with the audience. Most of all, thank you, audience. and have a great weekend until we create each other again.
Once again, thanks for joining us at Shifting Impressions, Conversations with the Realm of Beings on TransformationTalkRadio.com. As you have explored today's creation of reality experience with the realm and me, Greta, each of you is being supported by us in further developing the understanding that you are not just an individual existing in linear time and space, but a multi-dimensional force of infinite possibilities who is connected to all. So begin to create the realities you want. Join us every Friday at 8 a.m. Pacific Time and 11 a.m. Eastern Time on Shifting Impressions at TransformationTalkRadio.com. So long until we create each other again next Friday.